working on inferring and using evidence from the text. And the whole idea when we're reading is that we want to make meaning. Today we're going to work on a close read again. We did one of those, we've done a few of those. But the whole idea with a close read is that we read something very closely and we make meaning as we read. But what a close read really means is that you read something more than once. And each time that you read it, you really focus on something and find the answers to that. So, readers will read independently and proficiently by engaging in a close read. In the back of your notebooks, we put a green card. And on that green card, it gives us the steps of what we're going to do with a close read. So let's turn to the back of our notebooks. Everyone find it. We're going to do day one. We're going to star important events and places where important information is given about characters. So as we're reading, you're going to make a star where you think there's important information. Okay? When we're finished today, we should be able to tell me what the author is telling me here. It says, what is the author telling me here? That's on our sign over there. Okay? That is a summary. We have a really good strategy to help us with summaries called a Fab Five. Okay? So, when we finish putting stars by the important events, we're going to do the Fab Five and do a summary. Who wants what, but, so, then. And when we finish, you should be able to say, what is the author telling me here? You should be able to give me a really good summary. Well, today we're going to read a different kind of story. We're going to read a trickster story. Trickster is traditional literature. Let's go to our genres and look at what it says about traditional literature. Traditional literature are stories that are passed down from one group to another in history. Front of our very front, guys, is where we put our genres at a glance. They're passed down from one group to another in history. This includes folktales, legends, fables, fairy tales, tall tales, and myths from different cultures. Well, we're going to be reading a special kind of traditional literature called a trickster story today. Okay? A trickster story, or trickster tale, the main character is usually animals. Okay? It's short and usually funny. It has a trickster, sometimes with a flaw. So there might be something the matter with the trickster. It features a problem and a solution, and it ends with the trickster outwitting another character to solve the problem. Okay? So the trickster is going to solve the problem. He's going to help us with the solution. So these animals usually have human characteristics. So they're going to probably talk and all of that stuff. So the other thing is trickster tales originated all over the world. But they're mostly told now by Native Americans and African Americans. And traditional literature, remember, was told through stories passed from one generation to the next. But nowadays, they're actually printed into books. And they're often a lot of fun to read. Okay? So, you're going to be reading with a partner. You're going to read, and as you read, you're going to put stars by all the important parts. Then, you're going to turn over your paper, and on the back, you're going to write down who wants what, but, so then. When you're making your stars, you're going to talk to each other about why you put the star there and why it's important. And then you need to come to consensus, the two of you, about the answers to these five. And when we get through and come back up here, you guys are going to give me a summary. Okay? Turn and tell each other the strategy for summarizing that works really well. Neat and neat. What is the strategy called?
Strategy called?
The strategy
know the Fab Five?
You just have to write what things go there and then put it together. So you can actually do it instead of cheating. That's why.
Okay, so I heard some interesting things. I know that you guys all know what the Fab Five is. I heard some things that said, well, it makes it easier because you're not really guessing. If you answer those, you're going to have a good summary. The other thing is if you answer just those 5 questions, you're going to leave out those details that you guys love so much, but which kind of ruin summaries. So, if you can stick to who wants what, but so then, you're going to leave out the details and give me a summary of what happens in this trickster tale today. I'm going to write on the board the steps. You're going to read with a partner and make stars by important parts. You're going to turn it over and do the Fab Five and come up with a summary. Okay? Any questions? Off you go.
1 foot, so